This week, Alabama Live follows a balloon meister who's eager to fly us into the ether. We learn how to properly toss a mullet, the fish, not the hair. And finally, taste a hot dog enjoyed by Hank Williams. It's all in search of good eats and wild adventures. There's no time to waste. This is Alabama Live.
Coming up next on Alabama Life, hot air ballooning.
Up, up, and away. Hot air balloon competitions take place all over the United States. On Memorial Day, a giant street festival combines with the Hot Air Balloon Classic to form the Alabama Jubilee. The balloons gather at Point Mallard Park in Decatur, Alabama.
I have been a pilot for 4 years. My first balloon flight was in 2006, and it was like floating on a cloud. It was exciting, and it was just, it's really hard to explain. It's just so wonderful. It's so peaceful out there. My name is Laura Stewart, and I'm a balloon meister, and this is my Alabama Life. Come on, gather around, pilots! This weekend, I'm balloon meister. That is trying to coordinate all the pilots coming in, making sure that they all follow the rules, making weather calls about whether it is a flyable day or not, and it's just basically the go-all for the pilots. Okay, you're gonna have to turn around. He wants a picture. This is our big event of the year. We have 65 balloons in here this year, and it's just a great time of camaraderie and everybody coming in together, and it just fills the skies. It's just beautiful. Go ahead and get roll call started. Frank Anger? Rocky Bailey? I do most of my ballooning in this area. We have the greatest concentration of hot air balloons in Alabama. All live right around this area.
Balloon pilots go through the same rigorous training as airplane pilots, meaning they're both FAA certified.
I crewed for another pilot for a little while and got some experience doing that, got some time using burners. Now, as far as how difficult is it, it takes a lot of practice.
Practice makes perfect. But no matter how perfect you are, a balloon never wins in a fight against the weather. That's why the balloon meister is constantly checking the weather for favorable flight conditions.
Just catch me after briefing. Take into account that we have 64 balloons here. How many miles till you get across there? 5 miles. Yeah, I got my compass. It's easy to tell. It's up.
That's our weatherman. He knows exactly what's going on.
Okay, Mark, make it work.
What's the weather?
Wind calm, the winds will offer out at 270.
Hang on.
It's when you start doing that right there and that right there.
Out of the west is what hangs us over the river.
Let me grab a pie ball and let's see what it really looks like. We looked at the weather. We put up what's called pie balls, which are pilot balloons, and they're just helium-filled balloons, and we watch to see which direction they go and what the speed is to kind of give us a definite what's happening with the weather up there. Pie ball. You ready?
Yep.
Got it?
Well, that's what I'm saying, we're right in here.
And we've also checked with weather services and checked all sorts of weather sites, and so we kind of have a good idea of what the weather's doing out there. You see that one right there, which is finally moving?
Winds are calm, visibility 5 miles with mist. It's clear below 12,000. Temperature is 19 Celsius, dew point 17 Celsius. Altimeter
I believe out of the 65 pilots, I think there are 5 women here for this event, so and that's pretty good. So.
You the only female pilot here, Mom?
There's Sherry White, who's like the top female pilot,
Really?
I think, in the world.
In the world, wow.
Laura thinks it's important for young women to reach for the stars.
I love to land at a school and the girls get to see it's not just the guys out there that are piloting, that they could do it too. I think it's great inspiration for young girls to see that don't fall into those categories, that these are the only things you can do because you're a girl.
What? Yeah, that's a funny joke. I'm trying to get you up as high as we can go.
Cool.
Do we have any crew out here that are looking for pilots to assist this weekend? Unattached crew.
Each balloon has a flight crew with many members. You can't set up and tear down a balloon by yourself. Laura takes on newbies interested in learning the craft.
Ballooning 101 this morning, okay? You're gonna get trained this morning, okay? We unload the basket and they help me set up the uprights on it, which are what the envelope attaches to. And then they help pull out the envelope and they attach it to the uprights. Grab a handle and walk straight out this way. At that point, I check all of my lines, hook up the propane lines and make sure that I have no leaks. Get my instruments in order and get them work, make sure that they're operational, make sure my radios are operational. And then once I have everybody cleared around me, don't wrap anything around yourself. If anything goes wrong, you want to be able to drop it. Anything that is forgotten or not done properly could lead to an accident. I'm going to put you on this side. Okay. Sean, can you be on this side? I'm going to put you on the fan again. I put 2 people on the mouth of my envelope to try to hold it open. That's the part that you blow up. It takes about 5 minutes blowing ambient air into the balloon with the fan, where it's just lying on the ground, fully inflated. It's going to get hot here just a second. You might want to have them move back just a little bit, okay? At that point, I turn on the propane and I light the burners. And we start slowly heating up the air in the balloon until it stands up. At that point, the crew all comes in and puts their weight on my basket so that I don't fly away until I'm ready. Okay, weight on. Sorry.
After the balloons are inflated, there's one last weather check.
We're not going to get any movement until we get up about 700 feet, probably. There we go. It's creeping now.
Directionally, we use the wind currents to carry us. And so we have to do a lot of flight planning because we have to plan where we want to end the flight.
But now you're going to have to work across the river.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a whole lot to work with.
Not a lot to work with.
No, we have to stay and crawl across to stay off that water.
You don't want to end over someplace with no landing sites.
Well, honestly, though, if this is our 5-mile radius,
Yeah.
you know, we're not going to be pushing much further beyond this anyway.
And this is all swampy area through here.
That's what I was worried about.
Right now
That is. So you would look to see which directions the wind's going and then plan it all from there as which way you want to go.
The further you get this way, the closer to the ground you need to be.
That's true.
The only problem you got is right here is the edge of the 5-mile wedding cake.
Never been there.
What part of the weather you
Never been there. That is not a flight I've ever done. Let's go. Let's go.
Balloon Meister Laura makes the decision to fly or not to fly. The pilot's lives are in her hands.
Where are they going to fly from? See, all this is just backwater swamp area, so you've got to get around all this.
Long ride.
A long ride.
Well, you can have some people.
Do you honestly feel safe about flying?
I don't. I wouldn't do it. The river is the problem. All right. I don't think we should. I don't think we should. This morning, there was no wind. We need a little bit. You know, usually it seems like we would have a problem with too much wind. This time it was just no wind. It becomes a big barrier here with the river. As beautiful as it is to fly over, if you have to get to the other side of it, it's miles sometimes, and that's what it would have been today. We're closing the field to flight, okay? But we do have people out here on the field who really want to see some balloons this morning, so we want to try to do some field events this morning. So if we could do statics, if you would rather go ahead and do a tether this morning, answer the questions about ballooning, and just try to give them something to see this morning. Anyone can try it. You know, if you find a local balloonist and hook up with them to go up on a flight, or even come out to an event and try a tether flight. Now, as far as someone who's afraid of heights, I'm gonna have to say you're not afraid of heights. You're afraid of edges. Just like ladders or looking over into the Grand Canyon, when you're inside the basket of the balloon, you feel secure. And I have not yet met anybody who was afraid of heights that was scared of going into balloons. I can't climb a ladder. I can't get on the roof, but I like to go up in balloons, so.
Coming up next on Alabama Life, this is Chris's Hot Dogs.
Sometimes you just crave that all-American meal.